Hello pretties, welcome to Upsrail. So today I have my haul Q3 update. There you go. This is my haul update, so eventually just kind of going over reviews and things like that over all the items that I bought last quarter, now that I've gotten to use them a little bit more. Sorry for all the noise. Also, the lighting's weird. I had to use artificial lights in order to film this video because daylight savings is really kicking my butt, and I know the lighting's weird and there's like weird shadows. Anyway, nothing I can do about that right now because I want to film and this is my only option other than complete darkness. So yeah, all right, let's just have all of the items here. And you guys know I don't do the usual suspects as usual, like skincare and things like that, things that I normally would buy. Oh, I did forget to grab my powder. Give me a sec. Oh gosh. Okay. Now we're good. Okay, so from Target, I bought a couple of tools, which I'm not gonna include here. I bought a powder, which is a repurchase for me. I still haven't opened it. I need to open it though, because the other one is like almost empty. But I have that right there. And then I also have a lipstick. And I bought, I think this was this one right here from Jason Wu. Yeah, I think this was it. Actually, I bought two and I just didn't include it. Technically, the other one's not a lipstick, but I'll bring them up. Sorry. So this one's from Jason Wu. So this is supposed to be oh gosh, you're supposed to be able to use it in your cheeks, in your lips, and also in your eyes as eyeshadow, or at least it's what it's in the box. I haven't used it in my as a blush or as an eyeshadow before, but I have used it on my lips a couple of times. As you can tell, it's been I've been having some dry lips. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But I like it. The formula is very velvety. It reminds me like of a lipstick version of the Mousse Velvet from Bare Minerals. Is it Bare Minerals? Yeah. You know which ones I'm talking about? Like the Look lipsticks from them. Like this is like the lipstick version of that, which I do like. So that being said, I actually do like this lipstick. I will say though, this came out a little more warm than I wanted it to. I wanted it to be a little bit more neutral. So I don't love that, but the formula itself is really nice. I would consider maybe buying this in a mauve once I get through some more other lip products. Okay, and the lighting's acting up, so we're gonna try to get through this. So the other lipstick that I bought is this one. It's technically a tinted balm, and it is a lot more sheer once you actually apply it in person, and a lot more hydrating, I found it. So I actually really ended up liking this one from Milani. I wish I would have gotten another shade that is not so bright, because it's actually quite pigmented for a tinted balm, where tinted balms are quite sheer. And I know I say with more sheer, but it looks really intense. It translates slightly more sheer than that, but it's still intense. You can, depending on how you apply it, manipulate it a little bit. I think I just contradicted myself, so I'm just gonna move on. Anyway, so there was those, and that's pretty much everything from Target. So from Sephora, I bought a perfume, which I've actually finished. I didn't love this one. This one's from Clean. I didn't think it was too long lasting. I felt like halfway through the day I needed to like reapply, which I don't carry perfumes with me, so that didn't happen. And I didn't care for the scent as much as I initially cared for it, so it kind of died quickly on me. But this is from Clean, and it's in the Acqua Neroli or Neroli. I'm not sure, but there it is. I didn't care for it, and I think it was way too expensive for what it was. Okay, also from Sephora, I got this lip liner, which this lip liner has really come through for me. I really liked it. It is definitely very close shade match to Kismis, the closest one that I got, and I really enjoyed it. I got a gloss free with purchase, and I've already finished it, so that's already pretty good. And then I got these two bullet lipsticks that are supposed to be, again, dupes for Kismis, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't tried them. So this one's on me. I haven't tried them. Maybe I'm scared because they're pretty expensive. I think, okay, so this, everything that I bought from Sephora, and keep in mind this was free 100 point perk. It came out to $116. Are you kidding me? So I haven't even touched those two. All right, and from Ulta Beauty, another purchase, I made some skincare products, which I didn't really touch those. I'm sorry, I've touched those, but like I'm not gonna touch in them in this conversation. And then I got a cream shadow, which is this one here from ColourPop. And I mentioned the same thing. I wanted it to be a little more neutral, and it's actually quite burnt orange, which is not my preferred at all. And it has those like glitter shimmers. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. There you go. And I don't love them. I don't love them. Overall, the formula I like, and it's interesting, and I want to try more from this. I just not in this shade. I want something more neutral, maybe slightly cool tone. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. But anyway, it was a dumb purchase. That's what it is. I wanted to try the formula, and I'm glad I did. I wish I had gone in a different color, something more neutral, not so orange, because I'm not into these colors anymore. So there's that. And let's see, that's everything from that order. All right, from Scott Barnes, we got a gloss, this one right here, and it's in Coral Cabana, and I really like it. It looks actually quite sheer. There's like the slightest little wash up color, but it actually complements my skin tone really, really well. So I actually really like it, and I already knew I liked his formula. I will say though, I am not a fan of the brush applicator. I know that he is, because he meant his glosses to be worn on top of liquid lipsticks or lip liners, and when you do that, it's easier to make sure the product doesn't move when you wear the brush applicator. That's not how I wear lip glosses, so I don't care for that. The formula itself though is really nice. It's relatively long lasting, and it's very comfortable. It's thick without being sticky and goopy, if that makes sense, which helps being a lot more long lasting. So I really like it. And then I also got the Scott Barnes palette in it's Natural No. 1. Oh goodness. This palette surprised me quite a bit, because I was not expecting, one, how big it was. Like the squares themselves are actually quite large. And also I didn't notice how much I was just trying different kind of combinations. I did not use every single color in this palette, and I wasn't expecting it to, but I really shocked myself. I really like it. I already knew I liked the Scott Barnes formula, but this was just top notch. Just top notch. I really liked it, and I'm glad I got it on a huge discount, because otherwise there's no way. This is like an $80-something palette. I was not gonna pay $80-something for a palette. That's ridiculous. So there's that. Okay, so over that, super good. The formula, Scott Barnes formula though, if you've not tried it, I highly encourage it. The mattes blend as easily, if not more easily, than Natasha Denona, which is actually the next thing. Sephora, I got the Natasha Denona Dream Palette. There you go. I was surprised there you go. I was surprised by how warm toned it was, because I wanted it to be more cool tones. I will say though, this Unity shade kind of threw me off at first, but I really came to enjoy it. And I didn't find any dots in this palette. The only thing that I had a problem with is that I did an all black smoky eye with this cream shade right here, and honestly, it creased on me so bad. And it's obviously because the cream shade and it wasn't set. Like, it makes sense. It's just, I don't know, I expected it to be more like a ColourPop putty prime, like a putty shade. And those don't particularly crease on me, or if I like were to tap them away, it kind of goes away. But this one didn't really do that. It was a little more stubborn. So that one gave me a bit of trouble, but the mattes blended beautifully. The shimmers were so smooth. I had the best time with this palette. I was kind of sad to have to put it away, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, and here's for, while I was there, because I needed a little more to get free shipping, I ended up getting a mascara from Rare Beauty. So there's that. All right, so I actually made a Rare Beauty online purchase, and I really liked everything I got there. So let's start with this. I got their tinted lip balm, liquid balm, because I own their tinted balms, the stick formula, and I will say though, I like that one way more than I like this one. There's the stick one, kind of like it's way more pigmented than this one for starters, and it kind of like stains your lips, which I enjoy from that tinted balm, and it is so hydrating, like so hydrating. It feels so nice, and even if the balminess feeling to it goes away, you still have that color in your lips because again it stains it, and it is so hydrating. I really enjoy it. However, this, the pigment lasted for like 15 minutes, but the balminess effect stayed for a real long time, and it almost felt like Vaseline on your lips. It was hydrating, yes, but it was so thick, it felt almost off. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't to the point where it was like disturbing. It just wasn't, it was just there. Like, I constantly felt like I had Vaseline on my lips. And if you have ever been to dance in your time, you would know that they would put like Vaseline on your teeth and stuff like that. And it just like brought bad memories from doing that. And I like, the biggest thing that bothered me though is the pigment would just like roll off, but it just felt so thick because the balm lasted for a long time. So then if you wanted to reapply the color, you have to reapply it even though your lips still felt thick. So it felt like a little goopy at times. Not necessarily that it was, so that makes it sound negatively. Well, it is kind of negative, but it didn't feel thick. It's hard to explain. I don't particularly love the formula. I will say it like that. Like, if I ever have to buy something like lip product from Rare Beauty, which I likely will, it will definitely not be this. It would 100% be the tinted lip balms. I think that's a winner formula. I have not yet tried her regular bullet lipsticks. I heard a lot of good things about it, but if I have to pick something, it's going to be the tinted balms. They're so nice. I will say that if you're trying to buy something cheaper, the Just a Tint from ColourPop are a good dupe. It's not nearly as hydrating and as the one from Rare Beauty, and it's slightly less pigmented than the ones from Rare Beauty. And I mean slightly, just barely, because the one from ColourPop are pigmented, but they're still really nice. Like, it's a good comparison. They're just slightly not as nice as the Rare Beauty ones, but still really good. Still really good. Okay, so the liquid shadow. When I first applied this, it gave me a little bit of trouble in the sense that it didn't quite blend right, and I was just struggling. But I've also never worked with this formula before. The second time around, I was okay, I know now what to expect, and I know where to place more color and where not to, and then when to blend and when to add. So I took my time a little bit more with the second time, and I definitely took some learning curve, but I really liked it. It did not crease on me, which I was surprised, because the first time it definitely creased on me. I had a hard time blending it, and it kind of just looked harsh. But the second time, it was so smooth. This is one of the few times that I would say more is more. Usually less is more, but with this one, more is more. It definitely helped. It did stain my lids a little bit, but not for too long. But maybe a couple hours afterwards. But it wasn't like still there the next day, so that's fine. Overall, learning curve, I did like it. So yeah, it was nice. The concealer, I definitely got it in the wrong shade, and it's not nearly as pigmented as I would like it to, but it is so smooth, it is so lightweight, and I always do double concealer anyway. So because I do double concealer, I actually felt like it worked really well with that, and it didn't bother me as much. I didn't have as much coverage because the concealer that I double up with, that one brings me the coverage that I needed where I needed. So this worked out really well, and it was so smooth. It like blended so effortlessly. It was so lightweight. Like my under eyes felt so nice. I definitely got it in the wrong shade, but once I powdered it down, it actually darkened up a little bit, like it oxidized almost. It wasn't oxidized, the powder kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. So it actually ended up working out for me, even though the shade was definitely too light. This is 190W, and everything else I've got is in the shade 210N, which is my correct shade match. And that's what I wanted in the concealer, but it ended up working out. It was slightly highlighted in my under eyes, which is not my preferred method of using highlighter, but it worked out and it was okay. Okay, let's see. These two were, like, there were so many good things from this purchase. I really ended up liking the Rare Beauty cream bronzer. It definitely looks a little more it can sometimes look ashy on me if I am very tanned, but if I'm not, it looks so smooth on me. And even if it does look initially ashy at first application, once it blends out very smoothly into my skin and does not look gray, which is all I can ask for. And it does look very natural. So I really do appreciate that. It definitely has like that no makeup kind of feel to it. And when I am trying to do that, this just looks great. I'm actually gonna use this tomorrow because I have a date and my boyfriend likes a no makeup look. I think most guys do anyway. So I'm definitely gonna be using this. And I recently, like whenever I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing and I want to do like the no makeup thing, this is usually what I'm reaching for. So it was a winner. It was a winner. That's all I'm gonna say. Another winner was this liquid highlighter. Holy shit, have I loved the hell out of this liquid highlighter. I thought at first it might be too dark, which I will say that in the website, this looked too light and I was scared. But then once I got in person, I was like, ooh, it looks dark. But it blended so nicely, so smoothly. And because I got like one that has like a rosiness to it, it blends into my skin beautifully. And one dot right here, one dot right here, and I can blend it all over. I can put it in my temples, I can put it in my nose here and everything, and it just blends. And there's just like a shininess that like peeks through without being glittery, and it's like almost like it comes from within. And I just enjoyed it because I don't particularly like, I don't like blending highlighters. And I've said this before, highlighter is probably my least part of my base makeup. There's times where I'm like, I just don't feel like wearing highlighter, but if it's this liquid highlighter, oh yeah, I'm like, I always want to reach for it. It just looks so nice. It looks so nice. Really appreciate it. The ones where I was shocked how much, that was a weird, ooh, okay, let's never do that again. The ones that I was shocked at how much I really enjoyed them was these two right here. I will say though, this foundation feels like a tinted moisturizer, but I can totally tell the difference between this two. Give me a second, I have a phone call. Okay, that was actually a really long break. I was on the phone for like 30 minutes. But back to this. This this foundation was so lightweight. I really enjoyed it, but the tinted moisturizer was even more lightweight, and I really like both of them. I think there's definitely a little more coverage in the foundation, but I can definitely make this work. There's almost no coverage in this whatsoever, so just kind of keep that in mind. I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention this again. Usually when I wear foundation, it like picks up right here because of my glasses. I don't know what it is about this formula that, although it does pick up a little bit, it's not to the point where I have like circles of like there's no more foundation there. It actually like still there. It's just like the slightest thing. It has like this really natural finish that I really enjoy. It doesn't look matte, it doesn't look necessarily dewy per se, but I do really like it. It just looks so natural, so pretty. These were really good shade matches for me. They're both so this one's 210N, yes, and then this one's 26W. Definitely go and do them in person because I was gonna grab the wrong shades for both of these, and I'm glad I got them. I went in person to get matched because it was the best decision I could have made. Okay, we're almost at the end of it. By the way, Rare Beauty was my most expensive purchase of that quarter at $166.60. All right, and then from Ulta Beauty, I got some skincare, some hair stuff. I did get a lip stain from ColourPop because I've been wanting to try this formula, and I know a lot of people say that it's similar to the one from Fenty Beauty. I will say I don't like the way this fades. It does not fade graciously, which I don't appreciate, and it doesn't stain for nearly as long as I would like it to. Like if I put this on, I'm putting it on because I wanted to stain my lips so I can drink, eat, and converse and not have to worry about my lips. But this does fade with food and water and liquids, which I don't appreciate. That's not what I want when I'm wanting a lip stain. I want it to stain and stay. So I don't appreciate that. It does not, like I say, go away graciously. It is super easy to reapply. I will say though, it was once you first apply it and you kind of have to wait before you like wipe it off, it did not wipe off nicely, gracefully either. So that was a problem for me. Overall, I can make it work. It's just a lot more work than I want it to be. Maybe I'm just not that familiar with lip stains, but I don't love it. I just don't love it. All right, and then the last thing is I got a set of little perfumes. This is the only, I finished this one. I really like it. It was surprisingly long lasting, like way more long lasting than the one from Clean. This lasted for a really long time. They smelled really nice. Like it lasted me all day. If I sprayed and I could still smell it, like I put some on from a different one earlier today and I can still smell it. And it's been what? I think I put it on around 8 a.m. or like 8:45, and it is 6:20, and I can still smell it. It is not as strong as it was before, but it's definitely still there, and it sticks on clothes really well, which I know some people don't like that. I do. You might not. I personally do. It sticks on my clothes really well, and I like that, so I just want to put that out there. But this was a surprise hit. I know one of you guys recommended doing Pacifica perfumes because I was looking for a cruelty-free option for perfumes, and I'm impressed. I'm really impressed, and it's a drugstore option, so I can't wait to get these bottles in full size. I've yet to have a complete one that I don't like, but I've only had 2 so far. That I think it was a set of like 6 or 5 or 6, so I haven't tried all of them, but I'm really excited. All the ones that I've had so far are kind of like freshy, kind of like ocean vibes, and I think as you go more along the thing is gonna be more florally and more like citrusy, which citrusy and fruity is not really my type. And then I don't particularly love sunflowers, but if I like that flower scent, I love that flower scent. So I'm excited for those. So far though, this has been my favorite, and this is Silver Moon, and it's the only one I finished, and I have put a little thing so I know that I want to buy the full-size bottle of it. That is it for this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you've tried any of this at all. Also, if you had any really good purchases from Q3 that you've really been enjoying, I want to hear all about it. Please leave it in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye guys!